It's amazing how we often measure wealth by what we can touch, see, or spend. But let me tell you something today. True wealth is not in your bank account. It's in your spirit. You can have all the money in the world. You can own mansions, drive the finest cars, wear the most expensive clothes. But if your spirit is in poverty, you are still bankrupt. Money cannot replace purpose, and wealth cannot substitute for peace. The richest man without spiritual direction is just a beggar dressed in fine clothes. We were created by God for more than just material success. God placed his spirit within us because he knew that without him, we are incomplete. You see, man is not fulfilled by the things he owns, but by the alignment of his soul with his creator. You can chase after riches all your life and still find yourself empty, wondering why joy escapes you, why peace is so far. It's because the real wealth is in your connection with God. When your spirit is out of order, nothing in life feels right, no matter how much you accumulate. You've got to understand this. The most dangerous thing is to be successful without purpose. You can win the world, but lose yourself. True success begins when you put your spiritual life in order, when you align yourself with God's principles. The Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, but lose his soul? Your soul is your most precious asset, far more valuable than silver or gold. When your spirit is in alignment with God's will, everything else in your life begins to fall into place. You experience a peace that surpasses understanding, joy that money can't buy, and fulfillment that can't be found in a bigger house or a larger paycheck. But if your spirit is in disorder, you will always feel something is missing. That's why people with millions, even billions of dollars, are still searching for happiness. They are trying to fill a void that only God can fill. So don't chase after the things of this world at the expense of your spiritual life. Don't sacrifice your relationship with God for material success, because at the end of the day, your money won't save you, it won't comfort you, and it certainly won't give you purpose. But when your spiritual life is in order, God gives you wisdom, peace, and guidance that money can't provide. You begin to live a life that's rich in meaning, not just in possessions. You become truly wealthy, not because of what you have, but because of who you are in Christ. True wealth has little to do with what you own or what's in your bank account. It is about the state of your spirit. You see, many people chase after money thinking that once they accumulate enough, they will be fulfilled, satisfied, and at peace. But the reality is, no matter how much money you have, if your spirit is disconnected from God, you are still living in poverty. Money can never substitute for the richness of a soul that is in alignment with its creator. When your spirit is out of order, you carry an inner emptiness that no amount of money can fill. You might be able to buy things to distract you temporarily, but deep down there's a void that only God can fill. That's why you see people who have amassed great fortunes but still feel lost, still searching for meaning and fulfillment. They may look successful on the outside, but on the inside, they are bankrupt because their spirit lacks direction, peace, and purpose. We were designed by God to live in harmony with his will, and when our spirit is in disorder, no external success can make up for that internal lack. Real wealth is when your soul is whole, when your life is connected to a higher purpose beyond the material. If your spiritual life is in poverty, then no amount of money, no achievement, and no status can make you truly rich. Money can buy many things: comfort, luxury, and temporary pleasure, but it cannot buy peace or purpose. People often mistake material success for fulfillment, thinking that if they just had more money, more possessions, or more recognition, they would finally feel complete. But the truth is, no matter how much wealth you accumulate, it will never provide the deep sense of purpose that comes from a life aligned with God. Purpose is not something you can purchase. It's something you discover when you connect with the Creator. Money might ease your physical needs, but it cannot answer the deeper questions of life. Why am I here? What is my destiny? What is my impact on this world? These are spiritual questions, and they require spiritual answers. Wealth can distract you from these questions for a time, but it can never provide the answers. Without purpose, even a life of luxury feels empty. People try to fill that emptiness with more things: bigger houses, faster cars, expensive vacations, but none of it brings lasting fulfillment. That's because purpose is not found in possessions, but in a relationship with God. When your spirit is connected to God, you live with clarity and direction. But when your spiritual life is out of order, even with all the money in the world, you will still feel lost, searching for something that wealth cannot provide. The richest man without spiritual direction is still poor. No matter how many assets you accumulate, no matter how high your net worth, without a clear sense of spiritual purpose, you are simply a wealthy beggar. You may have material abundance, but inside you are bankrupt. True poverty is not the absence of money, but the absence of meaning, the lack of alignment between your spirit and your Creator. We often admire people who seem to have it all: money, fame, influence, but many of these individuals are suffering in silence because their wealth cannot fill the emptiness within. Money can mask spiritual poverty, but it cannot heal it. It's possible to look successful by the world's standards and still be lost, wandering through life without understanding who you are and why you exist. That's the tragedy of misplaced priorities, pursuing riches while neglecting the deeper things that truly matter. Spiritual direction gives your life a foundation. Without it, even the richest life is fragile, subject to collapse. When your spirit is out of alignment with God's plan, your wealth becomes a weight, something you depend on to give you a sense of worth. But wealth, no matter how vast, cannot fill the void left by a disconnected spirit. It may bring temporary satisfaction, but it cannot bring lasting peace or purpose. If your spirit lacks direction, no amount of riches can make up for that loss. We were created for more than just physical success. God didn't design us merely to chase after material things. We are spiritual beings living in a physical world, and our purpose goes far beyond accumulating wealth or achieving social status. Deep within each of us, God has placed His Spirit, and it is that Spirit which gives us life, meaning, and direction. Without a connection to that divine source, we lose sight of who we are meant to be. Many people spend their lives striving to succeed in the material world, working hard to build wealth, achieve recognition, or gain influence. While there's nothing wrong with ambition or success, the problem comes when we focus so much on those things that we neglect the most important part of ourselves, our spiritual life. When we disconnect from God, we lose the foundation of our identity, and no amount of physical success can replace that loss. God created us with a purpose, and that purpose can only be discovered when we are in alignment with His will. Our material accomplishments are temporary, but the life of the Spirit is eternal. You may gain every material success imaginable, but if you neglect your spirit, if you forget that you were created for more than just the physical, you will always feel that something is missing. That's because the deepest part of who you are is not your body, not your mind, but your spirit. And when your spirit is out of order, everything else in life feels out of balance, no matter how much you achieve or accumulate. Chasing riches while neglecting your spiritual life is dangerous. You can spend your entire life pursuing money, success, and recognition, but if you lose sight of your soul, you risk losing everything that truly matters. The Bible asks, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? This is not just a rhetorical question, it's a warning. Gaining the whole world means nothing if it comes at the cost of your spiritual well-being. There's a subtle but profound deception in the pursuit of wealth. The more you achieve materially, the easier it becomes to believe that you are successful, even if your soul is deteriorating. You may become so focused on accumulating more that you don't realize you're sacrificing the most important part of yourself. You neglect your relationship with God, you lose sight of your purpose, and you find yourself empty even though you are surrounded by everything the world defines as success. The danger is that when your spiritual life is out of order, no amount of wealth can satisfy your deeper needs. The more you achieve, the more you feel the pressure to maintain or surpass your success, yet it never brings the peace you thought it would. It becomes a vicious cycle, constantly chasing more, yet feeling more disconnected from yourself and from God. In the end, your soul is far more valuable than any possession or accolade. Wealth can fade, success can come and go, but your spirit is eternal. When you neglect it, you set yourself up for a life of constant striving, but never truly arriving at a place of peace or fulfillment. True success begins with putting your spiritual life in order. When your spirit is aligned with God's will, everything else in your life starts to fall into place. This alignment gives you clarity, purpose, and a sense of direction that transcends any material achievement. You begin to operate from a place of understanding who you are and why you are here, which empowers you to navigate the complexities of life with confidence. When you prioritize your spiritual life, you are investing in the foundation of your existence. It's not merely about attending religious services or following rituals. It's about cultivating a deep personal relationship with God. This relationship informs your choices, shapes your character, and guides your actions. When your spirit is nourished, you find the strength to face challenges, the wisdom to make sound decisions, and the resilience to overcome setbacks. Your life transforms from one of chaos and uncertainty to one filled with purpose and direction. Furthermore, when your spiritual life is in order, you begin to see your wealth and resources in a new light. You no longer view them solely as personal possessions, but as tools for fulfilling your divine purpose. You understand that your gifts and talents are meant to be shared, and that true success is measured not by what you have, but by what you give and contribute to the world. This perspective shift allows you to use your resources to make a positive impact on others, fostering a sense of community and connection. Ultimately, when your spiritual life is in order, you create an environment where success can flourish. You attract opportunities that align with your purpose, and you gain a profound sense of peace and satisfaction. You realize that life is not just about accumulating wealth, it's about living out your purpose, making a difference, and leaving a legacy that reflects your values. With a strong spiritual foundation, every aspect of your life can thrive, and you can experience true success, one that goes far beyond material wealth. No amount of wealth can fill the void left by a lack of spiritual connection. Many individuals reach a point in their lives where they realize that despite having everything they ever wanted, luxurious homes, expensive cars, and an overflowing bank account, they still feel an emptiness inside. This is a profound truth that often goes unacknowledged in our materialistic society. The void is not due to a lack of physical resources, but a disconnect from one's spiritual essence. When you prioritize wealth over spiritual health, you may find yourself surrounded by the trappings of success, but still feeling isolated and unfulfilled. It's a paradox that many experience. They climb the corporate ladder, gain recognition, and achieve their goals, only to discover that none of it has brought them genuine joy or satisfaction. This emptiness stems from a spiritual poverty that cannot be masked by material wealth. People often attempt to fill this void with distractions, parties, vacations, or even more shopping, but these are just temporary fixes that don't address the root cause of their unhappiness. True fulfillment comes from understanding and embracing one's purpose, a journey that requires introspection and a relationship with God. When you ignore your spiritual needs, you find yourself in a relentless pursuit of more, believing that the next big purchase or achievement will finally bring you happiness. But when that moment arrives, you realize it was just another illusion, a fleeting pleasure that quickly fades away. The truth is that the richness of the Spirit provides lasting fulfillment. When you nurture your spiritual life, you cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and contentment that transcends any material possession. This connection allows you to experience life more fully, appreciating each moment and finding joy in the simple things. It shifts your perspective from one of scarcity, where you feel the need to constantly acquire, to one of abundance, where you recognize the blessings already present in your life. Ultimately, true wealth is found in the alignment of your spirit with God, and no amount of material success can replace that profound connection. When your spirit is nourished, you discover a joy and purpose that cannot be shaken by external circumstances, leading to a life that is genuinely rich in every sense of the word. Material wealth is temporary, but spiritual wealth is eternal. In a world that often prioritizes the accumulation of possessions, we can easily forget that our true worth is not measured by the things we own, but by the richness of our spiritual lives. While money can buy comfort and convenience, it cannot provide the lasting peace and joy that comes from a strong relationship with God. When you place your value in material things, you set yourself up for disappointment. Money can fluctuate, markets can crash, possessions can be lost or stolen. However, spiritual wealth is rooted in something far deeper and more enduring. It's about understanding your identity, purpose, and connection to the divine. This spiritual foundation offers stability in the face of life's uncertainties. When challenges arise, those who are spiritually anchored are able to withstand storms, drawing strength from their faith and purpose rather than their possessions. Moreover, spiritual wealth fosters genuine connections with others. When your spirit is enriched, you cultivate a life filled with love, compassion, and understanding. This creates a ripple effect, enriching not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. You begin to see relationships as investments of love and care, rather than transactions based on what someone can provide for you. This shift in perspective leads to a life of abundance, filled with meaningful interactions and profound experiences that money simply cannot buy. True wealth comes from living in alignment with your spiritual values and principles. It allows you to experience gratitude and contentment regardless of your external circumstances. While the world may measure success by the size of your bank account, the spiritually wealthy understand that their true riches lie in the peace of mind that comes from being connected to God and fulfilling their purpose. As you cultivate your spiritual life, you begin to perceive the world through a lens of abundance rather than scarcity. You realize that the treasures of the heart, love, joy, and faith far outweigh any material possession. This understanding allows you to navigate life with a sense of purpose and fulfillment that is unshakable, grounding you in the knowledge that true wealth is not found in what you have, but in who you are and how you live in alignment with your spiritual beliefs. Prioritizing your relationship with God above material gain is essential for true fulfillment. In a society that often equates success with financial achievement, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of wealth at the expense of your spiritual life. However, the reality is that money cannot save you, nor can it provide the guidance and wisdom that comes from a deep connection with the divine. When you make your spiritual life a priority, you position yourself to receive the insights and direction that can only come from God. This connection provides clarity in your decision-making, helping you discern the right path, even in the midst of uncertainty. Wealth may offer comfort and security, but it cannot guide your life in the way that a relationship with God can. Furthermore, when you focus on nurturing your spiritual well-being, you begin to see money and possessions in a different light. They become tools for fulfilling your divine purpose rather than the ultimate goal. You recognize that your resources are meant to be used for good, helping others, supporting causes that matter to you, and making a positive impact in the world. This perspective shift transforms the way you engage with your wealth, allowing you to live with a sense of gratitude and responsibility rather than entitlement or greed. It's important to understand that material wealth can create a false sense of security. Many people believe that having money will solve their problems, but when crises arise, be it health issues, personal loss, or existential questions, they often find themselves feeling alone and unsupported. In contrast, a strong spiritual foundation provides comfort and hope, offering a refuge in times of trouble. You learn to lean on your faith rather than your finances, finding strength in the knowledge that your worth is not determined by your bank account, but by your identity as a child of God. In the end, prioritizing your relationship with God leads to a life rich in purpose, connection, and meaning. You discover that true success is not measured by what you own, but by the depth of your relationships, the impact you have on others, and the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with your values. When you place God at the center of your life, you cultivate a sense of peace that transcends any material gain, enabling you to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. A truly wealthy person is one whose spirit is aligned with God, living a life rich in meaning and purpose, not just possessions. When your spiritual life is in order, you become aware that your value is not derived from what you own, but from who you are as a person created in the image of God. This profound truth transforms the way you view your life and your worth. When you understand that your identity is rooted in your relationship with God, you begin to operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You recognize that every breath you take is a gift, and every moment is an opportunity to fulfill your purpose. This understanding empowers you to live fully, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles that hinder your path. You become resilient, knowing that your strength comes not from your bank account, but from your connection to a higher power. Moreover, living in alignment with your spiritual values leads to a life characterized by service and generosity. A truly wealthy person understands the importance of giving back, using their resources, be it time, talent, treasure, to uplift others. This selflessness creates a ripple effect of positive change in the world, enriching not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. You find joy in contributing to a greater cause, knowing that your impact extends far beyond your immediate circle. The richness of a well-ordered spiritual life also cultivates inner peace. When your spirit is aligned with God's will, you experience a profound sense of tranquility, regardless of your external circumstances. Financial ups and downs may come and go, but the peace that comes from knowing your purpose and direction remains steadfast. This inner peace is a true marker of wealth, allowing you to navigate life's storms with grace and composure. Furthermore, your spiritual alignment fosters genuine relationships. You attract like-minded individuals who share your values and purpose, creating a community that supports and uplifts each other. This sense of belonging adds another layer of richness to your life, one that transcends any material possession. You realize that the bonds you form and the love you share are the true treasures of life. Ultimately, true wealth is about living a life of significance and influence. When your spirit is anchored in God, you are equipped to leave a lasting legacy that reflects your values and positively impacts future generations. This legacy goes far beyond financial wealth. It encompasses the love you shared, the lives you touched, and the difference you made in the world. In this light, you become not just a successful individual, but a transformative force in your community and beyond, demonstrating that true wealth is found in a life lived with purpose and alignment. In closing, it's essential to remember that true wealth is not measured by the contents of your bank account, but by the state of your spirit. Money may bring temporary comfort, but it cannot fill the void left by a disordered spiritual life. The real treasures lie in your relationship with God, your sense of purpose, and the love you share with others. When you prioritize your spiritual well-being, you unlock a deeper understanding of your identity and purpose, enabling you to navigate life with resilience and grace. This spiritual alignment enriches your life, allowing you to experience genuine peace, fulfillment, and joy. Let go of the false notion that material possessions equate to success. Instead, invest in your spiritual growth, nurture your relationships, and live a life that reflects your values. In doing so, you will discover that the true essence of wealth is found in a life lived with purpose, love, and a deep connection to your Creator. Embrace this truth, and you will find yourself truly rich, regardless of your material